Hey, everybody, welcome to the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We enjoy that. Mike Catalana along with Dan Fetes, and we're looking at this Bills-Colts game right now, a fascinating game to look at in so many different ways. We'll give you what we think and who we think is going to win. Dan, this game's got a lot of subplots to it, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I think it starts with the Bills starting that grueling stretch of that second half with the Colts, Saints, Patriots, and Buccaneers. Look, we talked about how easy the stretch was supposed to be before, and it ended up being kind of tooth and nail, at least there for a little bit. Mike, to me, the big thing that stands out is, can the Bills protect Josh Allen well enough with the loss of Spencer Brown? The last time he wasn't out there, it was Jacksonville. We were there. It was a very hard game to watch. So my question is where do you see that, and how can they adapt or maybe learn from that game to get better?
Yeah, I think one of the things they might learn is that Cody Ford shouldn't be on the field, but we'll see what they decide, to do. And then the other part is you mentioned those four games, and I think the theme with those four teams is they're physical teams.
Yeah.
The Colts are, the Saints are, especially defensively. And they need to be on offense because they really don't have much at the way of quarterback. We know the Patriots will play that way. And then you've got the Buccaneers, who especially defensively just can get after it with the D-line. If they get their corners back, that's an elite defense.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a change. And Dan, this is the thing that has worried me all year, is that the Bills were so focused on the Chiefs, and they're built to beat the Chiefs. And the Chiefs are a finesse team, sort of like the Bills. I think of the Bills as a finesse team, not a power team. And now they're going to play this stretch where it's going to be physical.
Look, you can be a finesse team to some respects, but you need to at least be physical at the line of scrimmage. And right now, Spencer Brown is their physical element on the offensive line. And where they are on the defensive line is still to be determined, because as we're recording this on Thursday night, Star Lotulelei remains in the on the COVID reserve list. So who knows about his status? And again, Tremaine Edmonds, again, at the time of recording this, has not practiced the last 2 days. Matt Milano's in a non-contact jersey. And this is a team, like you said, Mike, they may be the most physical team in the NFL. Like, the Titans are up there, along with some of the other guys. Like, they will exploit the loss of Star Lotulelei, who has been really good stopping the run. And if they just watch any of the Jags film, DeForest Buckner and some of those guys can just say, like, that's the guy we're going after. And it's up to Brian Daboll, who I have all the faith and trust and belief in the world in, to neutralize what you can do with kind of playing with one hand behind your back. If Cody Ford is the guy to start, actually, whoever starts, they're going to be playing with one hand behind their back.
Yeah, I think it's also, they sometimes come out, and I think they did in both the Miami game and the Jacksonville game, thinking one way and then trying to adjust. Getting the ball out quicker, playing that type of offense early. And I think we're going to see them do that against the Colts. I think the ball's going to come out. I think they are going to attempt to run the ball, which I think they should early, and then set themselves up. And I believe offensively, throwing the ball, Josh can take the cheese a few times before he looks for Diggs down the field. What do you think?
Yeah, there will be holes in the secondary. They take chances. They like the turnovers. It was funny, the video of Sean McDermott with the boxing glove on the stick. I think that was the fact that this is with Darius Leonard and some of those guys in that secondary, they will go for the ball. So I think that was a little bit of preparing this Bills, backfield that has also fumbled a little bit, often. So this is a game where I just think that Sean McDermott with a boxing glove on a stick set the message that this is going to be a team that is going to be physical, and they have to be able to throw punches back.
Yeah, I think so. By the way, they use that form to knock the ball out. The defensive backs do. And Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde are both good at it. Do you know the player everybody credits with being the guy who is the best at punching the ball out, has a great nickname?
Peanut Tillman.
Yes. Very nice. Very nice. It's that Peanut Tillman.
Peanut pun.
Knock the ball out. Yep. And the Colts do that. They're good at it.
Micah Hyde did it at the end of the first half in the Meadowlands.
And Poyer did it last year in the playoff game against the Colts. Stripped the ball. They ruled that the guy's knee was down right before, his knee was down before he got up.
That was the final drive.
and they ended it anyhow. But both these teams do that. I think they're that way. I like Frank Reich a lot as a head coach. He doesn't get rattled. They were 0-3. They were 1-4. They've had a lot of unsteadiness. Wentz had his injuries. He's not vaccinated. That became an issue for them. And yet they've kept him on the field, and they've been better, and they found a way to win. And they lost tough games in overtime I believe to the Titans and the Ravens. So this team, strange to say, but they could have won like 6 or 7 in a row. They really could have. They beat the teams they should have beaten, and they had very good opportunities to win the other ones.
I don't remember, Mike, if it was the trip that we were in Jacksonville or it was Kansas City or one of the games we were driving up to. And this is behind the scenes of Buffalo Plus. Like, comment, and subscribe. But Mike is like, we're going through this conference, and Mike's like, telling you, man, these Colts. And I'm like, what are you talking about, Mike? Like, they're 3-5. Like, what's the big deal? And he's like, these Colts. He's like, I'm just telling you. He's like, this Colts team's dangerous. And I kind of brush it off.
You know what it is? They know who they are. Frank Reich knows who they are. They have an identity. They are not the most talented team in the league, but Frank is who he is, man. And like when he said that this week, he said, why not us? That's the message he's sharing with his team. They're still that hunter, not hunted. That's who they are. They got beat by the Bills. I think they're the kind of team Bills fans would be proud to see on the field. They love their current team. But that's the kind of team a fan base would go, we love this team because of the way they play. Plus, they have a guy named Kwity Paye, which is one of the most unique names, the Michigan guy, right? I mean, they've got some talent on the. You mentioned Forrest Buckner. They've got some. Darius
talent. Leonard may be one of the best linebackers in all of football. Like I said, they are. It was surprising when they were 1-4, and obviously they were able to right the ship, win 4 out of their last 5, and they're a dangerous team with confidence coming to Buffalo. Mike, as we get to these picks for this game, what do you think is going to happen? I want your take first.
All right. I think it's going to be that kind of game. I think it's going to be a similar game to what we saw in the playoffs. I think these teams will counterpunch each other. I think coaching is going to have a lot to do with it. I think both of these teams are very well coached. I do want to see the Bills be able to establish something on the ground with this offensive line because I don't trust them to pass protect for Josh Allen 45 times in the game. If they can't give Allen the space and if play action allows him to pick this secondary apart, which I think he can, I think the Bills can pile up some points in this one. I do worry about the Colts maintaining possession. Jonathan Taylor can go 5. He can go 55. He's a heck of a player. And Wentz can make plays in this offense. My prediction is Wentz will have one wacky Wentz play that will be showing over and over again, but he'll make some good ones too. I still have the Bills winning the game 27-20 in a close one all the way through.
Yeah, the Bills are 7-point favorites at home against the 5-5 Colts. I just think this game, we talked before about when we pick these games, the matchups. At times it was like the Chiefs were a bad matchup because of all their speed that they had. This is a bad matchup, not because of the speed, but we've talked about the physicality. And I didn't love the matchup, and I didn't love it even more when we found out that Spencer Brown went on the COVID list and would miss this game. I think he provided their edge. If Cody Ford has to play any significant time, I just don't like the Bills' chances. I think they win. I think it's very close. I'll go Tyler. And honestly, it's more because I think this Bills defense is good enough to hang around and to keep their offense. They're not going to shut out. They're not going to, hold them to no touchdowns. This Colts team will put together a couple of drives. Carson Wentz and Jonathan Taylor are good enough to do that. But I think that they still get the stops. I think they still get the turnovers they need, much like the playoff game that you're talking about. How about a Tyler Bass game-winning field goal at the buzzer? Bills win, Colts cover 27-24.
Yeah. Hey, right now you'd take that and move on and get ready for New Orleans. So we'll see what will happen. We'll be up at the game. Dan and I will be up at the game. And also in New Orleans right after that. We've got plenty of coverage for you here on the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel. Jenna just getting a Veterans Day off. She'll be back. Videos, including your guys' take from up at practice this week. So check that out. Plus a report from what's going on in Indianapolis. All of that on the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel.
McDermott.
That's McDermott.
Punching glove.
Punching. That's the way he is. He'll want him to punch this week, and we'll see what happens. Keep in mind, the Colts have not beaten a team with a winning record, not beaten a team that made the playoffs last year. That is a stated goal by the head coach going into this week, and a little payback to the Bills. Though they have that little edge to them this week, let's see how it works out. That's going to do it for us. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. For Jenna Cottrell and Dan Fetes here with me now, I'm Mike Catalana. Thanks for watching here on Buffalo Plus.